the Headless priest of Miriam College. In the heart of Quezon City, hidden behind tall trees and wide stretches of lawn, stands Miriam College. By day, the campus feels calm and orderly, a place of study and routine. At night, when the lights thin out and the paths grow quiet, the atmosphere changes. Many who have spent time on the grounds after dark say the silence feels heavier there, as if the campus is holding its breath. For generations, students, faculty, and staff have shared the same unsettling story. It is not something usually spoken about during the day. It comes up in dorm rooms, whispered during late-night conversations, or mentioned casually just before someone decides not to walk alone. This is the legend of the Headless priest of Miriam College, one of the most enduring and deeply unsettling ghost stories in the Philippines. Miriam College was founded in 1926 by the Mary Knoll Sisters of St. Dominic. During World War II, the peaceful campus was overtaken by Japanese forces. At the time, the school was known as Mary Knoll College, and like many religious institutions across Manila, it was converted into a military hospital and barracks. Classrooms became wards, quiet hallways filled with boots, orders, and the constant tension of occupation. Fear was a daily reality. According to long-held accounts, a foreign missionary priest was assigned to the school during this period. He was known for his calm presence and his willingness to help anyone in need. He moved quietly through the campus, tending to the wounded and offering comfort where he could. To the sisters and civilians, he was a source of reassurance. To the occupying soldiers, he became a problem. The priest was said to have spoken openly against cruelty and mistreatment. He refused to look away when people suffered. Over time, suspicion grew around him. Rumors spread that he was helping the resistance or passing information to enemy forces. One night, without warning, soldiers took him from his quarters. He was led across the darkened grounds toward the old chapel, far from the main buildings and hidden from view. What happened next was never recorded in any official document. What survives is the story passed down through decades of memory. The priest was executed somewhere on the grounds, and when his body was found, his head was gone. The sisters who discovered him were said to be devastated, but powerless. They buried what they could in a quiet corner of the campus, hoping the ground itself would offer him peace. It did not. Soon after the burial, strange things began to happen. At first, they were small. Footsteps echoed in empty hallways late at night. Doors creaked open on their own. A low rustling sound, like fabric brushing against the floor, was sometimes heard near the chapel. Some nuns reported hearing faint murmurs that sounded like prayer, though no one could make out the words. Then people began to see him. Witnesses described a tall figure dressed in a priest's cassock, moving slowly through the campus. Where the head should have been, there was only darkness. Some noticed that the collar of the robe appeared darkened, as if soaked by blood. Others said the figure walked with purpose, stopping now and then as though searching the ground. One of the earliest reported encounters came from a senior nun who had lived on campus for many years. Late one evening, while making her rounds, she heard movement coming from the old chapel. As she approached, the air grew noticeably colder. Inside, near the altar, stood the headless priest. He did not move toward her. He did not speak. He simply stood there, motionless. Moments later, he faded from view, leaving the chapel silent and unnaturally still. In the years that followed, students began reporting similar encounters. Groups walking across campus late at night would hear footsteps behind them, only to find no one there. Some claimed to see a dark figure standing at the edge of their vision, disappearing when they turned to look. A few students who entered the old chapel after dark said the temperature dropped suddenly, followed by the unmistakable feeling that they were no longer alone. One group of students, drawn by curiosity and nervous laughter, entered the chapel one evening with flashlights. As they reached the front, one beam of light caught a figure near the altar. The headless priest stood there, silent and unmoving. The students ran, screaming, and refused to speak of it afterward except in hushed voices. Many believe the apparition appears most often during quiet nights, especially during breaks when the campus is nearly empty. Some say the figure never crosses open gates or brightly lit areas, as if bound to the place where he died. Others believe he wanders, still searching for what was taken from him. Those who claim to have seen the headless priest say the experience is not marked by rage, but by overwhelming sorrow. The presence feels heavy, filled with regret and loss, as though the spirit is trapped in the final moments of a violent death that never found resolution. Today, the old chapel remains a place of solemn respect. Even skeptics admit the air there feels different, as if the past lingers just beneath the surface. The story of the headless priest of Miriam College continues to be passed down generation after generation, reminding those who hear it that some places remember what happened within their walls. Whether the legend is ghost, memory, or something in between, it refuses to fade. And for those who walk the campus after dark, it remains a story that feels uncomfortably close to the truth.